Shalom, 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 everybody. All praise to the Most High. This is Righteous Talk Podcast. I am your brother, Yarel. And today we're going to be talking about a topic. It's a mature conversation. So you're going to hear, some mature conversation today. All praise to the Most High. I'm sorry about that. This is Righteous Talk Podcast. I am your brother. I'm sorry about that feedback. That was on my tablet. But nevertheless, all praise to the Most High. We're going to be talking about a mature conversation today about fornication, right, before marriage, right, and the effects thereof, right. So this is a mature conversation, right. We want to make sure that we're not overlooking this as we're in repentance and as we're going forth onto the Most High. We have to make sure that it's a lot of things we have to come out of, all of us who's been living in fornication before prior to marriage. And then there's righteous marriages, then there's unrighteous marriage. So we're going to be breaking it down a couple of these things today and trying to give you some inspiration, some motivation, testimonies, all that stuff through experience and just some wisdom. So I pray that this conversation is mature conversation. Remember, I'm saying mature, so it's gonna get real. So you're gonna have maturity, right? But nevertheless, I hope you get what you can out of this. With that said, all praise be to the Most High. We also have a special guest today who has been with us many times before, but nevertheless, my brother Chris Briggs from Can We Talk and Not Talk. Shalom, shalom, my key.
Shalom, shalom, Maki. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for inviting me, my brother.
Man, all praises be to the Most High. You know He is good. He is good all the time. He is good. All praises.
All praise to the Most High.
Yes, indeed. So with that said, man, today you hear the conversation, brother. You know what it is. But before that, we're gonna let this intro play. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those in the OT, this is Righteous Talk Podcast. You know what it is. We're going to cry loud, spare not, show my people their iniquity. Thus says the Most High God. Hallelujah. You know what it is. We will expose all the unfruitful works of darkness. It is time to shine the light. Whatsoever is made manifest is made manifest by the light of the Most High God. Hallelujah. Let's go. I said, let's go. That's right. All praises, all praises, all
All
praises,
praise.
all praises. All praises, all praises. Shalom, shalom, everybody coming in. Shalom, 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 shalom. Hope you guys can hear and see well. All praises, shalom, shalom, sisters and brothers and sisters. All praises. All praise, all praise. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Today we having a conversation.
Come on now.
Mature conversation, brothers and sisters, mature. You don't have to have maturity for this conversation. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High for that. Right?
Come on now. Hallelujah.
With that said, let's talk about it, right? Uh Man, a lot of times, brothers and sisters, when you getting into marriage and stuff, because it's been so tainted, marriage has even been tainted. So I want to first say there's a marriage that's of the Most High is biblical. Then there's a marriage that's just a marriage of the world, right? So you have biblical marriage that's after the patterns and the will of the Most High. Then you have marriage that's after the world, So some people, what I'm saying is, some people get married, but it's worldly marriage, and some people get married and it's actually pleasing and acceptable to the Most High of the Most High, keeping His commandments, right? But nevertheless, a lot of time before people come into marriage, because we've been living in a world full of sin and we have all fell short of the glory in sin, a lot of sin that we have committed has been fornication. A lot of us have, right? And now if this shoe don't fit you, then so be it. But most of us gonna be able to fit this shoe. You know what I mean? Before marriage, fornication, sex before marriage, right? And the effects of it, man, it's a lot to it because fornication was never a thing we were supposed to do. It literally have taken the sacredness out of due benevolence, marriage, and having bringing forth a baby and in the process of that, all that has been taken all out of context. It's been very defiled in the world, and now you have a lot of people getting into marriages and they so unhappy because they're trying to bring that fornication like mindset into the marriage. And not only are they trying to bring a fornication mindset into the marriage, right? They're bringing that spirit of lasciviousness, that spirit of over sexualization, or you want your wife or your husband to be like the dude you was fornicating when you was out there sinning and you wasn't in the truth. And so it's a whole different energy that comes with that. You looking for a fornication energy when you should be looking for a love energy, right? Love, that love and compassion energy. And a lot of this is affecting marriages and the sacredness of marriages because people are not getting rid of that fornication spirit. And because people out here having so many partners before marriage, and it's things you have to deal with, right? That's why the Most High said before to get married, to don't go have sex first, get married, and that's the first time you have relations with your husband or with your wife. And because we have been go so far away from that, right? We're so far away from people actually following those rules and regulations of the Most High that you have so many defiled and so many tormented marriages because of the many different sex partners that the man or the woman don't had coming prior to coming into the marriage. And so now, on some instance, the man is trying to uh he wants the woman to be like those sex partners he had when he was in sin, or the woman wants the man to be like the sex partners she had. Instead of us looking at each other to grow in love and sanctity and purity, it's becoming a lot of the marriages is based off, well, if I'm not happy in my sex life, they say, or if I'm not happy when we lay down and do the grown folk thing, you know what I'm saying? That can literally, let's be real, that can literally take your whole marriage and cause so many different things in your marriage just from the woman not being satisfied in this way or the man. This is a mature conversation. That's why it says on the thing, mature conversation, y'all, because this is something that has to be dealt with because there's major effects to what we have done when we were sitting out there living in sin when we should have been waiting on our spouses from the first from the get jump. However, a lot of us did it. I did it. I sinned before marriage. I was fornicating. Ak was fornicating. A lot of us were fornicating, but we still have to understand. We have to understand the effects that have come with that, so we can deal with ourselves and properly go into marriages now, and then teach our children how not to do it and why is the reason that they shouldn't do it on certain things we're about to discuss here today. So, Ak, you want to say something real quick? Get in there.
Yes, sir. First I just like to say this out there. Uh, proper courtship is one of the biggest things that we didn't. Well, I can speak for myself that I didn't know at the time because when I was married, I was still of the world. So of course, I had that worldly mindset.
Sorry about that.
Prior to getting married, I was already fornicating. So really not even getting to know your partner is one of the biggest things. Proper courtship in these times and these days is very important to get to know your partner before you know them sexually to be able to discern them. You still gotta try spirit by the spirit. You gotta know the ins and outs of how this person operates to even know, okay, is this what I really want? Because a lot of times, in my case, uh, I dove into a relationship just based upon because that woman looked good. It was pleasing to my flesh. So I didn't really know that person. And I was blinded from, you know, lust and also beauty is vain. So looking at a person from the outside appearance also that causes us to do things that's going to please the flesh. Back to you.
Right. Right. And I totally agree with that. And then some of us, before we came into the truth, we got married before. And some of us, even in Christianity, you not really, really, a lot of times you're not really, they don't really speak on this to get you ready, to get you in a right mind to get rid of the lust part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might say, I love you, I like you beyond that. But if this is the major part, for you having sex in marriage, if that's the major part of your marriage, is not, I love you beyond that. This is where a lot of problem is because we was living a life of fornication. We have an appetite for those type of relations, even in marriage, right? But we shouldn't be having it in a fornication type of mindset. We should have a I love my spouse mindset. We should have a respectable mindset. But because we did so many practices, right? We have things we have to address. Hallelujah. And if we don't address them, we're going to have a lot of dysfunctions in our marriage, maturely speaking, because somebody's not liking the spouse in this way, or the husband in this way, or the woman in this way. And this is for mature adults, right? This ain't for people that don't understand. Like, you have to understand, like, if you lived in fornication for majority of your life, or you lived in fornication before you came into a marriage that's supposed to be clean and pure of the Most High, you're going to have to understand and face that those relationships you had were nothing compared to the relationship that the Most High wanted you to have. And so you can't not bring that mindset, the fixes that you had in those relationships in fornication into the relationship of marriage. It's totally different. And because we've done so many things in defiance against the Most High, we have learned patterns and traits and mindsets that's not going to help us when we actually going to get into marriage. For instance, if we would listen to the Most High, let's think about the pros of listening to the Most High, because there's no cons of listening to the Most High. It's all pros, right? So,
Right.
if we, for 1 second, for the mature adults, if you understand what I'm saying, give me a 7 in the chat. But if we would keep ourselves, if a woman would keep herself like a virgin, and a husband would keep himself as a virgin before marriage, you wouldn't have a lot of, oh, he's not this size, or she's not doing this right. I'm so used to this, and you so used to that. Okay, so when you fornicate, this is for mature adults. You start building up an appetite for a certain type of thing. But if you was just you and your husband, and yet y'all had the first time, y'all would be experiencing these things together, which you wouldn't have all of these different dysfunctions and problems. But the reason why you have a lot of dysfunctions and problems, because the purity of marriage have been stolen, because we were taught to live in fornication. Fornication was so promoted to us. We was dancing in it until we start drowning in it, feasting in it, and the next thing you know, right? We have all of these
Right.
problems that we take, and all this baggage that we're trying to take into marriage. So now you want your wife to give you the same vibe as the one night stand girl. She was tricking, and you want her to have the same energy as the woman who was tricking, or the man who was tricking, for the women, right? And that's not the same type of energy you're gonna be having when you come into righteous marriage. And some of y'all, let's just be real, some women and men, both alike, no partiality, be looking for that type of energy that they felt in fornication, and you don't have that in marriage,
Right.
because you're supposed to be looking for the sanctity and love, compassion. It's not just about sex. It's supposed to be bigger than that, right? And because somebody in a marriage might be going towards that, and then somebody in the marriage is still focused on fornication. They still got that I just want to have sex mindset. They still got that lascivious mindset. You want her to be just like the girl, that was on straight. She had no morals and no value. You want your wife to be like a porn star or something, and you want your husband to be
Yeah.
like a porn star or something, because you was busy watching porn, and you was busy doing things outside of the righteousness of Yahuwah, to where you don't build up this tolerance, to where you're trying to now include this in your marriage. And it's not, is your husband might not have what the two different, or the many different dudes, or your wife might not have what the many different things you did with these many different women, and you're trying to create your own type of wife. I want her to have what this girl had that I experienced. I want her to have what that girl had that I experienced. I don't want her to have what that girl had. I want her to have this. I want her to have the behind that the other girl had, and I want her to have I want her to have that, the zeal in bed like the other girl had. And that's not how it
Right.
works, right? And we have to understand, we have to get to know each other on a spiritual level. It shouldn't be about lust. It shouldn't be about sex. It's got to be about loving each other on your mind and my mind connecting. Let me connect your mind with my mind, because we're supposed to be one body, one mind, one spirit. But
Right.
you so connected to that sex drive, right? That sex drive, you bring it into
Right.
the marriage, and you don't even have time to get to know each other spiritually, because your sex drive that you bring it from that fornication drive that you had out there hasn't been put out. You still got this strange fire that you're trying to bring into the marriage. And because of this, we have a lot of dysfunction, a lot of unhappy people in marriages. Because let's be mature and be honest. When a partner is not satisfied sexually, let's be honest, that goes into so many different problems. Let's just be honest,
Come on
right?
now.
Come on, and
Come
are we
on.
talking real talk, or are we talking the kids, or we talking grown folks conversation? Is this a mature? Come on, is this
Come
a
on now.
mature
Hey, this is
conversation or
real
not?
talk. This is real talk, guys, because coming into marriage, and especially when you're coming in from a worldly mindset, just speaking from experience, it's sex, 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 sex. Oh, all the time. Get it when you want. And if you come from a mindset, well, how this world it indoctrinates us with, if you're a man, I want a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. And if
Come
you're
on.
a woman, I want a gentleman in the streets, but I want a thug to punish me in the sheets. So if you
Right.
have this mindset,
Come
you
on. Come
automatically
on.
you
Hold up.
automatically
Wait a minute.
want
You
to
talking real
bring
talk.
all of this, all of this lasciviousness. You want to bring all of these things. You want your wife to be doing things that Shaniqua and them was doing to you and all of that. But yet you talking about that you want a woman who's going to value herself, but you still want that freakish type of mindset. So you already come into this thing wrong. And the same with the woman. You want a man to punish you and do all these old different freak things and stuff like that. But then you want a gentleman. So we have to realize that if our mind is already fixed on this type of freakish behavior, this is the only thing that you're going to bring into the marriage. That's you out.
That man, 100%. You said some point. Because we was living out there so long like that, you want a Jezebelic type of spirit because you was going after when you was going to a party, you was trying to get somebody that's gonna let you hit it real quick. You want a one night stand when you was going out to the club. That's the type of mindset you was in so long that you don't recognize that type of energy that you was having when y'all was doing what y'all was doing. You was building up a tolerance for that energy, and now that you're going into marriage, it's not that fornication energy no more. It's supposed to be
Oh,
about
no.
love and compassion on a spiritual clean and pure level. And that was more like a we were being freaky, dirty, no attachments, no knowing each other. And
Demon time.
some people are attached to that to when they get in marriage, they don't feel that same satisfaction that they was getting from that mindset that they had then, when that's not the satisfaction you should be looking for. And that's a whole nother energy. That's a whole nother uh, force you messing with, right? And this is supposed to
Oh,
be sanctity of marriage, sacredness. That's why so many people get into marriage and they defile the marriage bed because the husband he not like the thug you used to have, and he don't have that type of energy, that type of mindset. He more on I love you, baby. And some of these women out here, they don't want that. They want the man that's gonna do this on this side, but then they want the man that's gonna do that on that side. You see what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Women, man towards women. Some man want women that's gonna be a certain way, like you said, freak in the sheets type of deal, right? This is a mature conversation, but we gonna keep it righteous though. But you don't understand that the freaks that you was messing with had a certain energy about them, a certain yoke to them because they were actually in sin. They had demonic spirits, and you want to feel that same energy, like power, like, and it don't come. Man, I'm talking real talk right now, right?
oh, no.
It don't come from somebody who's going after purity. And so we have to understand that we are taking away the power that we can have when we do come together and have due benevolence, when we come together and lay down as husband and wife and we keep the marriage bed clean. That's more powerful than what we were doing in the world and sin. But because we were doing it so long, we came addicted to that type of power, that
Oh,
wickedness, right? And so you don't even have the ability to tap into this true power that's most definitely more powerful and abundant than what we was doing in sin. But because so many people are attached to that type of yoke, that wicked essence type of vibe, it's destroying marriages because you out here looking at the next man that still got the vibe, but he ain't no believer. He got that
oh,
vibe that you used to like. She ain't no believer. She got the vibe you used to like. She like, yeah, she giving you that look. It's not saying that as husband and wife, you can't go and have a great time when you come together in your bed. Do what you do according to being pure. Don't go out into being, obviously you ain't supposed to be doing no swinging and nothing like that, no crazy
oh,
stuff, no watching no porn or nothing like that. But you should be able to do what you're doing. Keep the marriage bed clean though, right? Nevertheless, in that type of mindset, it's like when you get into marriage, y'all, where's the conversation in? You're afraid
Mm.
to conversate. You was out there in sin, and you was in this yoke, and so you wasn't afraid to say what you want. But now you get into marriages, and you're afraid to say you will, because it's more of dealing with love now. It's more of actually knowing each other. It's more of actually have to
Mm.
talk to each other. And now, because you so used to just going into something, not even caring, I don't even barely know your name. I don't know where you live. I don't know where you come from. So now, when you have to sit and talk and get to know each other and say, and actually love each other, know each other on a physical and spiritual level, now
Right.
it's boring. Why? Oh, why is it boring? Why is it boring? Because it's about love now. What? It's about
Mm.
compassion now. It's about knowing you as my wife, or you know him as your husband now. I mean, man, it's a lot of destruction that comes from fornication. This is why we should listen to the Most High, but a lot of us didn't. A lot of us didn't know it. A lot of us wasn't listening, and we built up all of this filthy this filthiness in our minds, and a lot of times you try to take it into marriage, and we need counselors that's counseling these people in marriage
Yeah.
on how to counsel the people how to come out of that unclean mindset, so we don't take our brother, so wives, so women don't take their brothers or their husbands for lust, or men don't take their sisters for lust. I got a scripture I want to read real quick, right? This scripture is out of Tobit. It's out of Apocrypha. The Apocrypha that used to be with the 1611 version of the King James Bible, right? So let's get there real quick. It's only one script, and then we're going to keep talking. But I got to bring this because Tobit says something that I think we all got to understand. And I think this for woman and man should both take this into consideration. It says Tobit chapter 8, verse 6, and we're going to go to verse 8. Tobit chapter 8, verse 6 to verse 8. Somebody can write that in the chat. Tobit, 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 Tobit chapter 8, verse 6 to 8. And it reads, Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an help and stay. Of of them, it's old English, so bear with me. Of them came mankind. Of them came mankind. Though, thou hast said it is not good for man should not be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself. Right? Then it reads on. And now, O Adonai, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly therefore, right? So sometimes, see, I like how he expressed that I don't take her for lust, but uprightly.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're taking each other for lust and not uprightly. And sometimes you saying you are, but when you don't get rid of that old dirty sex drive. Come on, I'm gonna be real. Let's
Come
be
on now.
real. You don't get rid of that old, those things that you was doing when you was in sin with these people in sin. You don't want to mix that same energy. You don't want to have that same type of a mindset. You want to have a clean and pure mindset. Although you're going in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying, and you're doing your thing and making bringing forth babies and stuff. You don't want a certain type of mindset though. You want to have love and compassion. And a lot of relationships is dead to this love and compassion because you think love is that stuff you was feeling out there when you was fornicating, when it obviously wasn't love, because if it was love, it would have never failed. But it failed because it wasn't love. It was fornication. It was I like you today, but tomorrow I hate you. It was I want to go cheat. It was like, and then a lot of them, let's just be honest, because we were in that. Okay,
Right.
let's go to another topic. Because we were in that type of mindset, fornication mindset, we was building up tolerance. And when we was in fornication mindset, we weren't necessarily being faithful. And sometimes we didn't have what we call girlfriends or boyfriends. You was just out there, living your best life, talking about I'm single, messing around whoever you wanted to mess with, right? That's the life we was
Right.
living. Let's be real.
Come
Let's
on.
be real. And so because we was in that life, right? We built up to some and a lot of women have this too, are very bad. And I'm just being real, but men too. But nevertheless, you built up this tolerance for this the chase. You want the chase. You want this feeling of, it's a new person. I wonder what this is like, type of energy. But that was all fornication type of mindset. And because you don't have that, you're in a marriage where you're dedicated. You got to fight through things with each other. You got to be able to talk to
Oh.
each other when you don't like a certain thing on a sexual, spiritual, or mental, physical level. you don't have the energy because you used to the chase. You used to, okay, if I don't like this, I'm done with her. If I don't like this, I'm done with him. On to the next. And you liked it, that chase. You built a tolerance up for the chase. And now it's not about no chase like that when you come into marriage. Only thing you should be chasing is the purity of marriage. Only thing you should be chasing is the bond of perfection of the marriage. But instead, you chasing after that feel
Right.
that you was chasing after when you was in sin. And that's why a lot of marriages ain't thriving too, because your
Is there something I
mind
can add
is
on?
at. Come on.
As you
Who
was
can understand what we saying right now? Give us 2 seconds if you can understand in the chat. Go ahead.
and I'm gonna give it back to you. Uh, is it something uh, that you said when it was just me and you just talking, where I believe that it could be beneficial for this? You know the the mindset of fornication and us bringing that into marriage. That's the reason why that you know it's a mindset of just smashing. You still have the mindset of just, oh, this is just sex. This is the things that I used to do when I was with her, or if you a woman with him, but it's not intimacy, it's not making love, it's not connecting to your partner in a mature type of way. It's just that smash sex type of mindset. So in that, you're gonna burn that person out. Both y'all gonna burn out because that's not the way that the Most High designed it to be. This is a worldly mindset. These are things that you used to do with him or her or whatever. You're not supposed to bring that into the marriage bed. So you're not connecting with your partner on a level where it's intimacy and it's real love, but it's just that you still got that same type of I'm just got to jump off. I'm just releasing and. So
Right.
you're not actually satisfying your partner on the level where you need to be satisfied. You just really just satisfying your flesh. I'll give back to you, my brother.
And that's 100% correct, brother. Um, this is what's going on. This is what's terrible out here right now, man. And it's real bad. It's real bad. Um, um, it's sad because, like I said, this is the reason why the Most High tells us to not fornicate before marriage. This is why a woman should be pure and a man should be pure. And if we get into the science of it, it's real because, like, not only are you messing up the cleanliness of getting together with your husband or your wife, you're taking something from them, because now you used to this size and that size. You listen, a woman this thick, that thick, she did this, had that. But if you never would have done those things, you and your wife would have so much experience, so much love together on a spiritual level, physical level, and emotional level, right? In all of these
Well,
levels, but you shared this, and we ain't just talking about sex. We talking about you when you had a partner, you were sharing something on a spiritual level. Because see, having sexual relations is also a spiritual thing, but it's been so
on
defiled, people
FaceTime.
don't even have understanding. Because okay, when a man releases in a woman, this stuff stays in a woman for a good while. So now it's not even, this woman is not even being as clean as she needs to be, and this man is not as clean as he needs to be. So, like, if we would listen to the Most High, we would save ourselves for so much. But because we didn't, and a lot of us, we sin there. We have to clean our mindset up. We have to pray for understanding, and we have to go into a process where we clean ourselves. Because when we bring this stuff into marriages, it has a major effect on the marriage. It has a major. And if you, some people are not mature enough to talk about it. Some people are not mature enough to speak this. Because you was, and it's crazy. You were so mature when you was. I mean, they say mature when you was out there just, yeah, I know what I want. Yeah, this is what I want you to do and all that. But now you married, you can't even talk to your husband about what you want on a physical level,
Come
spiritual
on.
level, none of that. Because the way you was talking and was in relationship before wasn't in this place where you have to literally deal with each other. You have to literally hear each other out. Like you said, it ain't just this ain't just some freak off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because y'all could just get mad and just say, "Oh, makeup sex is the best." All that crazy talk type of, or breakup sex, and you know what I'm saying? And oh, cheating or that adrenaline you had when you was cheating. See, when you was cheating, you had built up a certain type of adrenaline for this cheating type of feeling. You know, you got this feeling like I'm cheating, and you had a demonic mindset, and now you're
Um,
looking for that mindset. Now you, instead of being faithful, you looking for that adrenaline that don't come with being faithful. That was an adrenaline that you got from being unfaithful. And so now women and man, and we're gonna talk about both, but we're gonna hit every direction. But now I'm gonna start right now with the woman. You looking for a man that has all of these different effects that you used to have with all these different other men. Now you down on your man because what don't please you, and what don't emotionally please you, what don't physically please you. You don't even know what emotionally and physically pleasing you altogether. And then when you do know, don't you know that every man might not have all of those different desires that you built up from all of these different men that you don't have?
well,
Vice versa to the man, vice versa to the man to the woman. That's not how it go. But because we have experience outside of marriage, we have this problem that is now taken away from the powerful effect of us coming together in the sanctity of marriage and family. When your marriage is under attack, your family under attack. So I know that people don't think, but fornication before marriage has an effect on your children, because now you unhappy, your wife unhappy, y'all go out there, y'all cheating, y'all doing this. Now it's a broke up household, broke up family, all because you wasn't sexually happy. Well, you know how you hear stories online and stories that you might have heard in life. Well, I wasn't happy. You don't please me like that no more. And okay, like the only reason why that obviously not pleasing you is because you don't had something and some things prior to this that is now on your mind. And instead of y'all figuring out how y'all can help each other on a physical, mental, and in the bedroom level, right? You don't know how to
well,
talk. You don't know how to talk because you just wanted it how you want it, or you were just able to switch it up when you wanted to switch it up. That's the wrong energy. That's the wrong vibe. That's the wrong vibe. That's the wrong way of thinking. And a lot of people are still in that, and you going into marriage with that. Oh, your woman is not as thick as that one woman you had, or she can't do it like that other woman did it. And when she do this in the bedroom, she not like old girl was. And so you got all this experience, and you trying to make her her. And it's like, bro, she her or he's him. And because you built up this, and you don't had this thick of a woman and this size of a man, let's just be real. All right, let's be real, y'all. We righteous talk,
but,
mature conversation. If you can't handle it, go ahead and sign out. But if you can handle it, let's be real. It's
and it's
all
something that
flesh.
you
That's
said,
right.
dog. It's something that you said, dog. If I could chime in, uh,
Uh-huh. Go ahead, brother.
it's one thing. You talking about, how some people, or with the spouse and stuff, you're not him or you're not her, and a lot of the things that deals with that is because soul
This
ties.
some
People,
freakos. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and people, they have built these soul ties. You got so many, prior to your spouse, you got so many, women you done dealt with. You got so many men that she didn't dealt with, and these ties are formed. A lot of times, the reason why that people still are not satisfied because they haven't even released folks that was prior before they even got married. They still holding on to what Tyrone did. You still holding on what Keisha did. You haven't released them because you feel, man, Tyrone was putting it down. Oh,
Right. Come
Keisha,
on,
she was
hey,
busting it.
come on,
So you go
real
into
talk.
marriage with the same type of mindset because you haven't released them because really you got a sexual appetite for that type of
For them.
behavior.
For
You haven't
them.
released them. You
So
still
you
are
still attached to
so
them.
tied. Come on
Come
now.
on, brother. Come on, brother. You speaking, you are speaking, you are speaking. Cause if you come on, brother, if you still thinking about Keisha, Teresa,
Well,
that one night stand you had, or that one experience you had with that one man, you know how they be like, oh, you was the best, or you the best girl, or all that stuff was vain. It was all flesh. It was all vain. Now we need to understand each other on a spiritual level instead of us getting to know each other. Like sis said, it was all flesh. Sister Love, she said it's all flesh. That's right. It was all flesh. We need to go. That's why it says let go of the flesh, subdue the flesh, and walk in the spirit. And so if we both coming in the spirit together, we not in that type of, we're not after that type of power, that type of energy, that type of fix no more. But some people, like you said, one thing is for sure, this is mature conversation and it's real because
well,
you still attached to Tyrone and how Tyrone was doing what Tyrone was doing. And Tyrone had a whole nother energy to him. Tyrone was doing what he did. But if you never had that experience with Tyrone, you wouldn't be basing the man that you got off of now. And then how do you know if you wasn't with Tyrone that the man that you with right now wouldn't be pleasing to you because you didn't have nothing else but that man in you? Come on, man, and with you.
Wow.
You come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Same vice versa to a man. You ain't had no other woman. You ain't had no other to where you can try to you judging your woman based off of the last woman you had that did this better. But y'all will be able to learn and grow together on a sexual, a physical, spiritual, and loving level if you did if we didn't do all of that. But because we did, we have to get rid of it. We have to deal with ourselves. Like you said, soul ties. If you still want what Johnny was giving you, you still want what Becky was doing and Shaniqua and them was doing, and you trying to make your wife them, you still want them. You want what they got. So you not connected to your wife on a spiritual level like you should because you still
Wow.
connected to this experience. That's why experiences with each other is very big. So it's not even just about the sexual experience, but the emotional experience, the physical experience. When you was in the world in fornication, y'all was living in sin. So the things you was experiencing with this man beyond the bedroom was still not of Yah. The things you was experiencing with this woman was still not of Yah. Y'all was sinners. Y'all was experiencing sin with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole different lifestyle. That's a whole different lifestyle. Now that we coming in a lifestyle of purity and cleanness, it's like I'm gonna be real. You so used to that nasty, unclean type of lifestyle that
Mm.
it's like since you ain't let go of it, right? And you still fixed on that type of energy. You this to you the love and compassion and purity, you can't even get into it because you still connected, like you said, soul tie to that unclean type of, it's whatever type of, yeah, it don't matter. We don't have to love each other. If we mad at each other, we ain't even talking to each other. We don't even barely know each other type of energy, that type of that type
Wow.
of adrenaline, that type of chase. You still
Wow.
connected to that and you not getting that in marriage. So now you cheating. Now you committing adultery because
Mm.
you want to see what this gonna be like, or you after this chase, or you feel good, or because he said you was cute. But when your husband tell you you look good, why don't you feel that no more? Why don't you feel good no
Wow.
more? Because you after a chase of some other guy telling you you look good. You
Right.
after a chase of another woman telling you you look good. You want to try something new. You got a problem because of what you were doing. You built up a tolerance for that
Yes.
demonic nature that you haven't
Wow.
realized that you got to let go of. You can't try to make your wife into that demonic woman that you was laying with before. That woman you was laying with in sin. You shouldn't want your wife to pick up that type of energy. So stop trying to bring that energy to her. Stop trying to bring that energy to your man. And then y'all got to figure things out. And then it's sad to say, but because you don't have this experience with this man, woman, and this man might not be fixed like that man, or that woman might not be fixed or stacked like that man, right? Now
Wow.
you unhappy? That's all, like sis said, that's all flesh. I want to put that back up there again. It's all flesh. It's no love. It's no spiritual connection. Your whole marriage going down because you don't like how your wife body is not as bad as the bodies that you used to have. You don't like how she is in the bedroom. Isn't that because y'all love each other? Y'all after Yahuwah together. Y'all can talk to each other. I love this woman. I love who she is. I love what she stands for beyond the bedroom. I take not my, like Toby said, I take not my sister for lust. Take not my woman for lust, but uprightly to love her with compassion. Be honest. There might be times where we frustrated in that level. Might be times where she has some problem. It might be time where the man having some problems on the physical level. But when you love each other beyond that, that's not going to aggravate you so much where you go out there and commit adultery, break up a whole
Wow.
family based off of some sexual desires. That's immature. That's why this conversation is for mature adults. Can y'all understand? Is any feedback in the comments? Do anybody has anything to say so I can put it up there? Come on, sisters. If y'all have something y'all
Wow.
can put up there, go ahead and put it in the chat so we can get some women feedback too, because this is real, and this is real life problems, and a lot of people can't
Wow.
talk about it. So this is Righteous Talk podcast, but we keeping it real, we keeping it 100, right? And we keeping
Right.
it
Right.
righteous,
Right.
but it's a mature conversation. Back to you, brother.
Yes, I mean, you definitely, you're hitting on all cylinders, man, because, that's, you know, as much as we already have experience, you know, with other people before marriage and sex and all these different things. So we, like you said earlier, we worked up this type of appetite. And then when we come over to get married, we expecting that same demonic energy, that same type of fornication mindset. And then we do defile the bed because we bring in these freakish type of behaviors into the marriage with your hood didn't meant for all of these type of weird things to be going on, and then you bring this stuff into the marriage bed, and then it can either be both or it could be one or the other. Then you can turn out, your partner. They might have been not really, that type of person, but because that you got this lustful appetite, you bring things into the marriage, and then you feed them into becoming this sexual type of beast. And then you wonder why now they out of control. I think we talked about this before. You help
Yeah,
feed into the beast, and then now she done turned out she might have, you know, had a few experiences before you, but now she then turned all the way out.
right.
Back to you out.
It's the, exactly, and that's real. You can because you looking for say if one spouse is going the right way about it and the other one's going the wrong way, that other one can try to introduce the one that's going the right way into another type of lifestyle, another type of way of living that's not right, right? Um, what it says she said it's the same with relationships when living together unmarried. That's right. That's
Oh,
it. That's it. That's what we
so,
talking about.
that's enough.
It's the same, right? And it's just it's unrighteous, and that's why we got to come out of that. And not only do we got to come out of it, but we got to teach this next generation, like, look, this is the results of that now. And then all of a sudden, too, when you're not happy with your spouse or husband on a spiritual level, or I mean, on a mental level, or in the bedroom. So now, because you was experienced, we're not just talking about uh in the bedroom type of stuff. We talking about the whole experience when you was fornicating. When you was fornicating, that means you was in a relationship with a man or a woman without marriage, without being married in Yah, and you were living a fornicating lifestyle. So you was having sexual relations, but you was in relationship beyond your sexual relation. But in that fornication relationship, you picked up all sorts of stuff. You picked up energies, you picked up certain
Right.
habits beyond the bedroom. And you're
All
trying to
right.
bring all of that was not right into your marriage. Even when two people that's getting married coming out of that together, you both got to do that. You both got to be on the same accord. Like, we're gonna let this go. We're going for love now. We're not going for the one night stand. We're not going for I need a thug. I need me a bust down. We're not going for that. We're going for I need me a woman that love me, that understand me on a physical, spiritual, mental level, that's got me mentally, that's got me spiritually, that got my back. And in that type of love, that type of power is what should make everything even more greater than it was when it was in sin, because Yahuwah is greater. So what is this feeling that you was feeling that's greater? You are attached to something demonic. You're attached to
Mm,
wrongdoing. And when you still attached to that, this is how you know, is when you don't feel good when your husband or your wife ain't on that type of time no more, and they do things with a pure heart, and you want somebody that's got a different type of you want them to just have this thug, like, yeah, it's not saying that you can't have what you having in your bedroom, like whichever y'all doing, but long as it's acceptable to Yahuwah. But nevertheless, you want that, you sometimes you want that out of pocket type of energy. It's an energy. That's why I keep saying energy, because some people don't believe it, but energy is real. There's negative energy, there's
wow.
positive energy. And when you was having fornication, that wasn't positive energy. And so because that energy changed, you looking for a certain energy. Women, you better understand what I'm saying. Man, understand what I'm saying. It's real. It's real.
Oh,
You look for that
I got
energy
a
that the
testimony
harlot
on
had.
that.
Come on, come on. You
I
look
got a
for the energy
personal.
that the harlot had. You look for the energy that the
I'm
thug
on
dude
my.
that didn't really care about you had. He just thought you looked good and he trying to smash you. You looking for him to have that, just, I got that smash type of beast type of energy, and that's what was turning you on. That's what you wanted. That's who you wanted to be in a relationship with. And this is the type of mentality you picked up. This type of appetite you picked up. And so now you're trying to bring this into marriage. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So we got to deal with ourselves, all of us, as we coming into marriages. Those who coming into marriages and those who might be in marriages that didn't think about this. This is something you need to think about, and it's something you need to address. Y'all got to be mature enough to talk to each other. Y'all got to be mature enough to say, you know what, I did have the wrong mind. You know what, I have been overly sexualizing our relationship in a way that I haven't been letting us have the room to really love each other and to really know each other, because I've been so frustrated sexually that I ain't been trying to get you know you on a mental level, on a spiritual level, because I'm focusing
Yeah.
on what I don't like about, oh, you don't have a baby. I don't like what size you is. See, when you love your woman, you not care about, when you love your woman, you like, look, I love the stretch marks on you. I love everything about you, baby, because you my wife, you my love of my life. You feel me? You're not. Oh, and
Hold
she tell you she look bad. I don't look the same no more. You like, babe, you look the same to me. You know what I'm saying, babe? You look the same to me, or even if you don't look the same to you, babe, I love you, and let's work. We can work on you together, and we can. You want to work out? Let's work out together. I will help you work out. Come on, come to the gym with
Right.
me, type stuff. Love, and then building this love out of that, and this is where your babies is formed, with this love instead of that fornication type of mindset,
Come on now.
right? The fornication type of
Gotta
mindset
be.
also is bad, because this is how you forming kids. You forming them in this old love. It wasn't, you didn't form these kids in love. You were supposed to be doing a whole ceremony in love, but you was in a fornication. I'm trying to hit something. That's it. I don't even care for her. I don't really love her like that. Marriage don't even really mean me nothing. I just got married because she said if I don't marry her, whatever. Or I married him because he had the bag. But I'm unhappily sexually and mentally and relationship wise in different areas. But he got the bag. You see what I'm saying?
And if I
So,
can chime in, I have a personal testimony. Get straight to the point. Well, so before I met my ex-wife, we was fornicating. I wasn't, getting the truth or nothing. It was straight, just fornication. And then as I got married, in the midst of me getting married, most time, he woke me up and I began to uh, change and, starting to follow after Yah. And the whole experience being married changed at that point because, you know, these learned behaviors and the things of the world, the Most High was dealing with me about that. So I'm starting to change. I'm starting to, so even in intimacy or having sex, that changed as far as like, it was more of trying to really get to know her, love her on that type of level. She told me straight out, she was like, you changed because she was so used of what I was before the Most High, woke me up. She was used to that type of, just that crazy sex, crazy, just going at it type stuff. And now it was more of a, I wanted to, do this thing right on a righteous level and really, make love. You know what I mean? Really cherish it, not just,
oh, come on.
oh, we just
I
smoking and
understand.
drinking and we just pounding, blah, blah,
Huh?
blah, blah. And
Huh?
that woman began to despise me because of she was like, you're not what you used to be or what I met you on. So in that, if both don't come together and have that type of, say, well, we're supposed to be moving as one. That stuff that we learned, that's demonic behavior. But if the other person or your spouse, if they're not willing to change with you as the Most High is changing you, that be on one accord, that person will begin to despise you because you no longer have that appetite that can please them in that type of way that they expecting you to go at them and doing all this old crazy stuff. So you have to be able to come together and you have to be on one accord because if not, then the other one, they're not going to be, satisfied because you're not that type of person no more. So even when you begin to change, it like you said, brother, it has to be coming together and have to be able to, talk about these things so you can come and be on one accord. Back to you, my
Right.
brother.
And I like what you said when you change, right? You was pointing out how things. I mean, that's your testimony, and that's our experiences, right? But nevertheless, you have pointed out something in that testimony that stood out. Like when you change, they're not into that different you, because it's not that you're not you. You have a different mindset, and they were so connected to the energy that you was
No
bringing
doubt.
from that old man. That now that you don't became a new man and you on some I want to make love, they on some I want to, you know what I'm saying? They listening to Pound Town. They listening
Right.
to Sexy Red. So they want that type of mentality, and then they go out and cheat on you. It's like you, and then you get the, oh, you're too good for me. I don't want to hurt you. All that stupid stuff, right? And then the man, he out there cheating on the woman, coming home, making her feel like nothing when she trying to do what she's got to do to be a wholesome woman. She not worrying
Right.
about laying down every day. You don't want a woman that all she want to do is sit there and lay down. Especially when you're a spiritual man, you don't want a woman that that's all you want to do. I'm scared. You going to work? Can you handle that? Because all you want to
Oh,
do is this. It's too much. Like if we focus on your rule, we have balance in everywhere, every way,
right.
mentally, spiritually, and physically, even for the pleasures that we can have together. We still got to have a balance. As a minister, I can't just be laid up with my wife all day. As a father, as a mother, you can't abandon the kids because y'all just want to lay up. Y'all just want to be out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When you love each other, you understand balance. And sometimes, things happen where somebody got to work at different times, and work has been real much, and you can't find the time for this and that, and you have to stick with each other. But because you so caught up on fornication, you don't even have a tolerance to wait on your spouse. Oh, you ain't been there, and I've been trying to tell you, and now you cheating with the boss.
Or masturbation for men. This is big. Masturbation
or
for men.
or porn
Fornicating
or
yourself.
porn. Women too, porn
No,
from
you
man
too.
and woman.
No,
Or now you sleeping with the boss, man or woman, right?
no.
Sleeping with somebody, you got a work spouse. You know about them, right? Come on, you got a work husband, work wife, right? Now y'all got on each other, got into an emotional relationship emotionally. Then it led to that fornication type of, oh, first kiss type of, oh, this is wrong. I don't want to do this, and then you want to do that, so you did it, and because you ain't focused on the sanctity of marriage, you don't have the tolerance that you need. You don't have the mindset you need. You focus on just some carnal pleasure, some fleshly pleasure, when you're supposed to be walking in the spirit. If you walking in the spirit, you ain't gonna go back to the lust of the flesh. You see what I'm
No,
saying? And these are the works of the flesh: fornication, adultery. You committed adultery, you in your flesh, you of your flesh. This is of the flesh, like Sis said earlier. It's of the flesh. And somebody going in, like you said, you going into the spirit, and you going into the spirit, and she wanted to stay in the flesh. And so now it didn't mix because the flesh and the spirit wars against each other. So as a man, even when it comes to laying down in the bed or just being in a relationship, right? It don't feel right to a person that's in their flesh because they looking for that relationship that they felt and gathered in the flesh. You looking for a relationship that comes from us going in and being in the spirit of the Most High. And so now she want to stay in the flesh. You was going in the spirit, and she said, what? You're not the same no more. You don't feel the same no more. It wasn't
that's the
fixing
worst
her
feeling.
appetite because her appetite was fleshly, and yours was becoming spiritual.
That's the worst
And
feeling.
that and that's the experiences that a lot of people have even in this
Yeah.
truth, even in the world, right?
That's the worst
Right.
experience.
That's right, sis. Not just men on the masturbation, women too. That's right. It's both. Women too. And then some of them, because, ooh, sis, you just brought something to me. Some of them, because you ain't giving them what they rather go do that. And so now you got this spirit in the house because the woman want to watch porn instead. Because you ain't, come on. Or the man want to go watch porn instead. Now you got this unclean mindset,
Yeah.
all because you want, man, y'all supposed to be loving each other. It's supposed to be beyond that. Y'all supposed to be able to figure that out maturely. But the reason why y'all can't, because y'all so stuck and infatuated on what you had when you was in the world, not keeping the
No.
commandments of Yah. But now that you keeping the commandments of Nah, it's a whole different vibe. And now you got to get with this clean vibe. You got to get with this, yeah, I got to love you vibe. All things got to be done decent and order vibe. I need to hear you out vibe. You need to hear me out vibe. I need to consider you vibe. You need to consider me vibe. I'm your head vibe. I'm not just submit to you, lay down what you give you to, you know what? And then I go ahead and be back quiet, happy life, happy wife. No, happy life, happy life, both do right by the Most High. How about that? Happy life by a man and a woman doing what the Most High told them to do. It ain't about happy life, happy wife. Get out of here with that. Ain't nobody literally happy husband, happy life. No, it's about husband and wives being happy, doing what the Most High told them to do. And that's how you build a happy life for real. And if that's not a happy life to you, maybe what a happy life is to you is in the world. Fornication, doing what you want to
No.
do, how you want to do it. You want marriage, but you don't want a yali marriage. You don't want a righteous marriage. You want a marriage where you can say, let's take a break. And I could go cheat for a couple of days. Well, we was taking a break. No, you're married. You're married. You can't just do that because you chasing after that little chase that you know what I'm talking about. You know what Brother Yuru talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Dad, come on, we all been there. Let's be mature. Was after that chasing when that chase wasn't there no more. You got bored. You're just bored. It ain't that time to do. You're just bored now because your mind is in the flesh and your mind ain't in the spirit towards your spouse. And now you about to sit here and destroy this person's heart. You about to destroy that woman's heart. You about to destroy that man's heart based off of what you ain't taming yourself on a physical level, on a fleshly level, and you destroying your family because you want that Jezebel woman or you want that Jezebel of a man, right?
Come on.
Whore of a
Come
man,
on.
right? He ain't doing nothing for you. Oh, he gave you a bag. He don't care nothing about them kids you got. He don't care. He seen your body. He trying to have at it, and you like that energy. Yeah, he had that good energy. But now you got to go home to your husband at home, and you all unclean. Now you want to act like you a good woman when you ain't. You want to act like you a good mother, and you ain't. When you cheat on the husband, you cheat on the family if you got a family. When you cheat on the mother, you cheat on the family if you got a family. You feel what I'm saying? And all that is so clouded because people have a sexual mindset. It's all about sex, 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 lust, 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 lust. What I like in the bedroom, what I like. What about what you like about that woman on a mental, spiritual level? What do you like her light? Do you like the virtue? Do you like her style? The way she get things done? Does that turn you on? That's what's supposed to be turning you on now. That's what's supposed to help you when you do come together in the bedroom. Now, how much I love you, girl, when we go through thick and thin, the way you hold me down, the way you got my back, the way you lift me up spiritually when I need somebody to just say some kind word, when I need some woman to come and rub me on the back with true love. Not like a woman that can't do, you when you a man, you have your mama come and when you a young man, she rub you, son, it's gonna be all right. Where's the woman that's gonna take over and when a man needs some emotional, gonna say, baby, I got you. She see you down. She not just worried about, she ain't just offering legs. She offering wisdom. She
Come on.
offering a plate of food made with love.
Come on.
She offering cuddle. She offering a rub. She offering a hug. But when you based off of fornication, you women don't even see that in men. Neither do men see what they need to see in a woman. And then everybody dried out because everybody want to have sex before marriage. Everybody want to turn up. Everybody want bodies. How many people you slept with? And it was a cool thing in our era. It made you seem bad when you was virgin. If you are a virgin and you watch this, hold fast your virtue for the right man. As you can understand, some of these things that, or the right woman, some of these things we talking about are issues that's what will happen to you if you don't hold it up. But even though you had these issues because many of us has fornicated, we can deal with these things as long as we go about it maturely and listen to Yahuwah. Let the Holy Spirit teach us how we can clean ourselves from this unrighteous thought, this unrighteous drive, this unrighteous love and connection. That was vain love. That was earthly love. You don't love her just because, oh, I got you, baby. I'm gonna give you the D. Let's be real. I'm righteous talk, but let's be real. That's not love. What about a back rub? Some of us, and we are, and man, sometimes the woman really be wanting us to cuddle, and we all we want to do is, I had to learn. We all had to learn. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of that. She really wanted, but you keeping her in that mindset by when she actually just want to be held. You don't even know how to help. You can't even control yourself.
Come
You know
on.
what I'm
Can't
saying?
tell
We
me
got
that
to learn
difference.
these things because that's also emotional need. Because a daughter is supposed to have a father, and a husband is supposed to be able to do what a father did on an emotional level and beyond that. And when you don't have that time when she down and you instead of, and she might want that, but let that go into it organically. Do you know how to hold that woman? Do you know how to talk to that woman? Do you know how to look at her? I love you without throwing any type of physical, sexual hints to her at that time. Can you speak to her? Can you hold yourself together for a minute because you love her and you really want her to be built up in her spirit, right?
Come
Right? Come on now. Can you do
on.
that? Right? Can you do that? Or
Come
is
on.
it I know what's going to solve your problem. That's not going to solve our problems. That's not going to keep us in the right mindset. We have done enough of
Right.
that. We've done enough of that. We got to come out of that now, man. You got to come out of that, man. We got to love each other as husbands because you not loving each other, having children, your children is growing up in that foundation, all because you didn't let go of that fornication lifestyle you had. and the experiences you share with somebody else emotionally, physically, and mentally. All these experiences you were sharing in this relationships that wasn't not of Yah. Now you carrying these experiences, and you want to have certain of those experiences with your husband, but you going about it the wrong way. It's not that certain experience that you had then can't come here on a physical or
Right.
spiritual level, right? But it's because you looking for it in the wrong way. You looking for it in the way that you was getting it in the world. Now you got to get this to work. Yeah. Yeah, you actually have to
Right.
work with each other. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
deal with each other. Yeah, you have to agree to disagree with each other and still love each other. Yeah, yeah.
Come on
Come
now.
on, man. Come on, man. You can't. Oh, I don't look. I'm mad at you. I don't want. And then the man in the mood. You don't want. You want to punish him because you didn't like what he said. Because you ain't a submissive woman. He told you about yourself, and now he can't get none. Or now she told you something that you didn't like, and now you want to leave her abandoned when she coming in the room the next week, and she trying to love on you, but because you so butthurt, you don't want to. Man, we gotta stop that. That stuff is very important. We
Man,
going through a lot. We need to love each other every
being
way. We
spiritually
need to not
mature,
allow
100%.
this stuff to live, man. We
Yeah,
need to
being
not allow this
spiritually
stuff to
mature.
live, man. Can anybody else understand what I'm saying in the chat? Give me some feedback in the chat, y'all. If y'all hear me, if y'all got some feedback, don't be afraid to put it up there. Um,
Oh
even
no,
if somebody disagrees, don't be afraid to put it up. This is a righteous talk conversation. This is a mature conversation, right? So go ahead, uh,
no, no.
and give me some, let me know, right? But back to you, Al.
Being spiritually mature, like you said, there's, that's one thing, man, because, we have to, you know, as we coming into, or the multi is calling us out of, this darkness and we're coming into, his marvelous light, our thought process, everything has to change. So we have to, undo all of these wicked things that we once was under. And, yeah, we did a lot of things when we was in the world, fornication and all this, but now that, we're coming together, and we coming back to his covenant, we have to understand, that it's not just all about sex all the time. And this is on both ends for the men and a woman. It's a lot of times that, like you said, brother, you was hitting on some key points. What do you know about that person? Do you, when you look into your wife's eyes, do you just see, that one member of her? Do you just see, oh, this is just something that I could just have all the time? And if you a woman, do you just see that man as, uh, the bag and he could just jump off? Just sex? Or do you see the values of in that person? Really speaking to their heart. When that man or that woman come home, you know how to uh, give them the chance to be able to express themselves to you. They done had a long day on both ends. It goes both ends. Or is it just, oh, I can just throw the booger on you real quick and then that's gonna satisfy you? We got to come up out of that behavior that we once was and understand that we got to connect to one another, like you said, brother, on a spiritual level, not just that, oh, yeah, we can just go in the bedroom and do the do. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but everything has its place. But on an everyday aspect, do you know how to speak to that woman in love, like you said, brother, without having to be about sex all the time, or even the woman know how to satisfy that man, not just with opening your legs, because it's more than that. You know what I mean? Being mature enough to understand that, okay, this is my wife. She's more than just opening her legs, or if you're a woman, this is my man. He is more than just giving that to me. So we have to be able to connect to one another and seeing the qualities of one another. How can I connect to my wife, or if you're a woman, my husband, on a level that is higher than just this sexual mindset? We got to come up
But
higher.
right, come up higher. Right, and it's going to be better for producing families. Hold on. Sis said, she said, "Do you know when each other needs a hug? Come on,
Come on.
seriously. Do you can you receive it? Another thing, can you receive it? Is your life is you so frustrated because he didn't do and what she didn't do? You can't even get a hug. Can't even receive a hug. That's real, sis. With like a hug, but like a hug that got so much meaning to it. Like when that person hug you, you feel like you could just cry. Like, okay.
No.
Thank you so much. You feel love. You feel, man, and it's a lot of that is dead because of fornication. That's what it is. We telling the truth. Mature a lot of that's dead because of the mindset of fornication and all the different experience you had when you had that partner, that boyfriend, that girlfriend, and all those experience, emotional baggages that you picked up. Now everybody got some problems that need to be dealt with. Otherwise, you're going into marriage with this. And then another thing is, can you grow with each other? If your husband wasn't a certain way at first, now that he's growing in Yah, can you handle that? Are you still gonna blame him for what he used to be when the Most High said forgive and you be forgiven? Or vice versa? Man, can you forgive your wife for what you didn't like about her, whatever y'all had going on? Now that y'all still together, are you gonna hold that against each other? Because that's gonna lead you right back into this relationship that has no quality, it has no value. It's just y'all every once in a while y'all get along to have sex, and then y'all back arguing, fighting about everything else because y'all ain't relating. Y'all can't relate on no other level. The only way y'all relate is in the bedroom. That's it. It ain't a hug. It ain't talking. Half people can't talk today. I'm a talker. I want to express myself to my wife. I want her to be able to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I want my wife to hear. Like when you're a woman that just opened for a real man that's growing up in this truth, I can speak for myself. If you're a woman and you don't want to listen to your man, you don't want to do, and then on top of it, you don't want to listen. Not only do you don't want to listen, but you got an attitude. You use your legs and sex as a tool to manipulate and to drain him because you mad, so you don't want to give him none when it is right time, and then you also don't know how to listen to him, so he don't care about that when you want some attention, right? And he like, cause you ain't paying no attention. So is there a safe place for a woman and a man? If a man become different, he not all focused on sex. A man gonna start loving you. He gonna fall in love with you. Can you handle that, woman? Can you handle that? Are you looking, or is he soft now? Because now I want to talk about this. Now is he soft? Huh? Is he soft now? Right? Now is he soft, or can you handle that? He want to talk now, and or now that he want to talk, can he be the head, and can you listen to him as a head, or is it's just all physical? Oh, you was cute when you wasn't talking like a man. You was cute when you didn't express your feelings as a man. You was, yeah. What about that? Vice versa. A man towards a woman. Now that she's expressing her feelings, women, you're very emotional. Sometimes you got to check yourself because y'all be overly emotional. But some men do too sometimes. But nevertheless, we ain't talking about out of order emotion. We saying when it's just an emotional situation. Do you have enough capacity to love on your wife? Do you have enough capacity to consider her? Do you use your power as a man to manipulate her or to abuse her, right? Or are y'all growing together? Are y'all willing to grow together? Because you're not growing together just because yesterday y'all was arguing, but then the next day y'all laid down in the bedroom and had we don't done that. Y'all laid down and had sex. The next day y'all think everything's all good. That's false because next 5 minutes or the next hour y'all about to be arguing like cats and dogs again because you're not dealing with things on a spiritual level. You just physical with each other. That's it. Everything is just physical. It's you look good today. Oh, he looked cute now because he looked good because he went and got a haircut today. Now you want to be nice, all based off of him looking good. And you don't want him to go outside, not because that's your husband and you love your husband. Oh, now you want to give him some because he don't got fresh and he going outside. It's not because that's my husband. I'm going to take care of my husband in physical, mental, and spiritual ways, no matter what, because that's my man. That's my husband, right? Or that's my wife. I want to take care of my wife. And then because she's just looking good today. What about when her hair might not be done? What about when she don't feel like getting up and doing all that? Do you still see her as beautiful? Is she still attractive to you? You know what I'm saying? Beyond that physical, getting up, putting on this and putting on that. When you know what I'm saying? To me, when I'm married and being married, like to me, my wife can say, "Oh, I don't look that. You getting up in the morning next to me is enough for me. You beautiful to me beyond the body." You know what I'm saying? You beautiful, but when when the attitude is wrong, when the woman and man attitude wrong, you can make somebody just think it's just like and then and when a man can't be a man, I'm gonna speak for a man. I'm gonna let the women speak for the women right now in this situation that I'm speaking on right now. But a man don't like that. It's like, okay, so I can lay down with you and you good and you feeling all good, but that's all we is. And then when we need you to listen and be quiet, hush your mouth and listen to when we got something to tell you as a leader. You don't want to listen. But we was all good in the bedroom. So then we feel like that. And then we feel like, well, it was better off But that's not right though. It's not right on either side. But that's what men go through too. So women has to understand there need to be a safe place for not just women. And the reason why I'm saying that because in the world it's a narrative. Think about the woman, the woman, the woman. What about the man too? It's a both. It's both. Y'all both human beings. It's not just oh the woman. A man has emotion towards his wife. Period. If you don't understand that, then you shouldn't get married. You should want a man that's going to consider your emotions, because to consider your emotion, he got to get in some type of emotional balance to even understand how to consider your emotions as a woman when our emotions sometimes are a lot different.
Come on
Then
now.
when he get there, are you going to manipulate him? It's not just about physical thing. Not because he's just strong enough to build a sink. He's strong enough to put the pipes back together when the pipes burst. That's we're not just for that neither. Just like a woman, not just for her body. A man, not just for that. We are leaders. We're supposed to tell you what to do when you're not doing it right. We're supposed to encourage you. We're supposed to hold the mirror up to your face. When a man is not about that sex no more, this is what he's about. And a lot of women can't handle that. A lot of women can't handle that. Neither can a lot of men handle a woman that's not like that. Vice versa. I'm speaking. I'm talking. Can somebody understand? Give me a 7. What does this
And I
say?
was
She
about to
said,
chime in. What's it?
chime in, huh? Or if, hold on, or if one of them is divorced, can you accept and move past it? Okay. I must have said something that you said that too. Okay. But nevertheless, go Aki.
Yes, because what it boils down to, is that when I say we, I'm just talking about just us, as as a whole, just in general. We have to stop thinking that sex is gonna solve all our problems. We have to stop thinking that okay, the problem is let's just go in, do what we do, and we good. No, that on the sense that's all of you doing is just putting a band-aid over something. It's a temporary fix. It's just like you got things going on and you go get drunk, or that's all it is that's a dopamine. We have to be mature and understand that sex is not going to solve the problems. We have to be able to sit down as men, women, and figure these things out and talk to one another. That's one of the biggest things. It's communication. Communication is big key in a marriage, or even if you're courting in a relationship. Communication, but a lot of times because of what we have learned and what that is taught in this world is that oh, you just want to please a man, you give him sex and he cool. Yeah, that might work for a worldly man, but we talking
Come
about
on.
coming out of that out of that mindset, coming out of that, and we're trying to do things correctly in what Yahuwah wanted us to do, and the same for a woman too. That's not all that. Well, a woman who is trying to come out of that. That's not all that she should need to be about either. You have to be able to learn how to communicate with one another and talk to one another and really say, look, this is the problem. This is how I feel. A lot of times, we, even though we've been married all these years, we still don't be honest with one another. Be honest and talk to your spouse what it is that you feel like that it's not right. But even at that, we have to be mature enough to be able to sit there and listen. We can't just be easily and getting offended when somebody points out something that they see or they feel like that is wrong. We have to be able to reciprocate that conversation that we could be mature, like, okay, well, hey, I feel like this, I feel like that, so we can come to a common ground and don't just think that, oh, well, shh, be quiet. Let me just go ahead and just, give you something and then that's it. It's no, all
Right.
I want to do
Come
is
on.
just continue to that problem still is going to be there. All you did is just put a band-aid on it, and then like you said, and then after y'all get y'all release and everything like that, that problem is still there because nobody wants to be mature enough to handle the situation and talk about it and get through this and say, okay, you know, let's come to a common ground to get this thing done for the better of our relationship so we could build and we could go forward. But if we can just continue to have that same fornication mindset when everything something comes up, well, I know how to fix him. I can just do that little thing that I do. Come on now. Oh, he good. Or if you're a man, yeah, I just do my little thing what I usually do. She good, and we got to come out of that. That's a worldly mindset, fornication mindset.
Right. Somebody said the generation has been uh Mike uh, says the this generation has been so watered down so much by the witchcraft of the system that people are losing the ability to see the many delusion dimensions of a person to who they are, to perceive who they are to hold on, let me see, I'm sorry. How they appear, right. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Uh,
If there's no communication, understanding, respect, or consideration, there is no lasting love or relationship. Facts.
uh,
Facts. Facts. Some people want to, and then there's an order to that. There's an order to that. And that's another thing. When you come out of the worldly mindset, you understand the relationship has an order. A man is a head, and a woman is supposed to submit. And but a man that's is a head is supposed to love his woman. But some women don't want that love. They looking for that dude that they was fornicating with. They would let them just do whatever. They didn't say nothing about what they did. They didn't say, "No, I don't like that." They didn't say, "No, that's too short." They didn't say, "No, I don't." When you go here, don't make sure you bend down the right way because you got a nice shape. I don't want to have to be seeing people looking at my wife too much. I mean, I know you're beautiful. You're already beautiful enough. I know somebody gonna look, but I don't want them to be looking at you like that. And if you're a woman, no man really wants that. A man that's becoming in love with you, then he starts to love you and tell you stuff. He starts to treat you like his trophy. A man's trophy. Go anywhere. When you see a man's trophy, even when he did any sports, he usually got it what? Put somewhere up safe. Somewhere in the
he,
bag, somewhere he ain't playing with his trophy. You see what I'm saying? And so that's how we feel when we get in love. You know what I'm saying? Now we ain't worried about just sex. I love you. I don't even want a man all up in your face too much. I don't want you to be the giver. I don't want you to smile too much. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be gentle. I want you to love. I want you to be a joyful person. But when a man come to you, I want to be that man that that smile at the most. I want to be the man that you know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like at home you looking at me like this. I see you coming home from work and you smiling at everybody. All right, Mr. Boss Man, and you come in the car. I'm home. So all of that stuff, y'all, we can't, that ain't love. That's not love. Communication, consideration.
come on,
And sometimes you want somebody to consider something in the wrong way. Sometimes a man saying, I hear what you want me to consider, but the most high, that's wrong. So I consider to tell you that that's not the way we're gonna move. We're gonna move this way. I'm supposed to be leading like Christ led the church, like Hamashiach, who some of y'all call Christ in English, led the church. So therefore, I ain't gonna compromise with that, but I hear you and I'm gonna pray for you. But as the head, I'm gonna lead you the right way. And can you handle that as a woman? You know what I'm saying? Can you handle that? You see what I'm saying? Can you handle that as a man when maybe you don't have it right and your wife do? You the
mm,
head, but your wife might have it right and you might have it wrong because you've been dealing with something.
come on,
Can you now make her feel like she's more than just something to lay down with? The only time you soft with her or caring for her is when you're in the bedroom.
come on,
Even when you disagree with her, can you show her you would disagree with her, but while about still trying to show her love? But yet some women don't take that neither. But nevertheless, do your part. You do your part, your hands clean. Vice versa, woman. You see what I'm
come on,
saying? And all of this stuff is overshadowed because of the fornication mindset. The relationships we had in fornication when we wasn't married. We shared all these different relationships with different people, this different experiences with different people that we should have been learning and experiencing with each other, growing and loving each other. But now we have all these different experiences we're trying to compare to each other. And then you
come
see
on,
other people's experience off of TV, fornication experiences, experiences with people that's fornicating and stuff. You say, oh, they look happier than us and they not even married. It's an illusion. They look like that to you. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You know what's going on tomorrow. Just like, when we was in fornication, sometimes we look good, having a good time, out skating. Next thing you know, oh, you don't went to jail for domestic violence. Come on, man.
Come on, now, yeah, you ain't lying.
Come on, man.
Come on,
That was that
that's the wrong way
quick
to look
fix,
at
that
this,
quick.
though. Huh?
Come on.
When the women is doing that, or men too, that's a wrong way to look at that because we're not supposed to be idolizing, or we're not supposed to be looking at the world or looking at things that we used to do and be like, oh, it look like they're more happy than no, hold on, oh, something, something is not right here. It's a breach somewhere because we supposed to be doing this thing according to the Most High and His standard. So, we're not supposed to be looking at what the Kardashians and all of them doing. This is of the world. We're supposed to be coming out of that type of mindset. So we need to be seeing, like, hey, what can we do to be on one accord with the Most High ultimately? Because if we don't
Mm-hmm.
line up in His will, then everybody's not going to be in the right order where they need to be. So and so, just as much as the man is is in line with the Most High, the woman too. I want a woman who's going to know how to cover me in the spirit. Can you do that?
Come on.
You don't know
You know how to
woman who don't
you know how
know
to place me in the
nothing and
bed,
just
but what about the
jealous.
spirit? Come
Come
on.
on, what about the spirit? Or you? Oh, come on. You can have an appetite for the Most High like I do, or vice versa. Do the
Come on,
husband have
brother.
an appetite for the Most High like the woman do? So it goes hand in hand. You know what I
Hand
mean?
in hand.
Just, that mindset, oh, just barefoot and pregnant and you don't know nothing. And then when I come home from on this job or whatever, bringing in the money and doing this and doing that, my armor all beat up and jacked up and all that. I want a woman who I can come home to and she can pour into me. She can minister to me. Take this armor off from being fighting all through the day, and that knowing that I have a safe place to come home to. Same with a woman. She have to, because these days, both people have to work. And she comes home and all that, and she gonna come home to a tyrant. And she gonna come home to a man who just, oh, I'm gonna just rule over you righteously, but just because that I can. She wants somebody that she can come home to too. So it has to be it has to be both lined up in the Most High's will that we'll be able to know how to. If we love Yah the right way, we should be able to know how to love one another. Back to you.
That's right, brother. That's right. With that, we gotta blow the trumpet on that. That's a good conversation right there. Right? I'm gonna let it blow. Man, blow the trumpet. I said blow the trumpet. I said blow it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. All praise, all praise. The conversation is going. I'm liking the conversation so well. Hey, in the chat, all the people in the chat, do me a favor, make sure you like. And if you haven't subscribed and you're on here, subscribe for more. This podcast you might like, but you might like some more podcasts that's coming soon. Or you might not like this one and another one might fit you. So subscribe if you see the potential in this podcast. I'm also a minister. I'm not just a podcast dude. I'm a minister. I'm a more way as they say in Hebrew. So you can check out the YouTube for even more things like teachings and lessons and motivations, encouragements, and so on and so on. All praise to the Most High. But anyways, I also like what Bro Vic said. He also said a man and a woman in this walk, in the walk, have to help build each other to enjoy the fruits of their spiritual labor and be rewarded at the resurrection. That's deep too. And we do definitely have to help each other. I don't think that the Most High, when he said a man is the head of the house, that means that he don't help his wife. A head of the house should be helping the wife. A head of the house, it should be the example of what help is. But sometimes it's hard if the woman don't want to receive your help. I would say that too. So, are you a woman that can receive the help of your husband, even though you might not agree if he's a spiritual man? Can you submit to that? Can you listen to that? Or the dude at work or the dude at the store just say hi and he being nice are you gonna lay with him then come back to him? and what's going on because you have an attitude problem. You don't know how to respect the authority in your house, but you can respect the authority on your job. Which one is it? Because if you serve Yahuwah, you understand all things decent or this real talk. And no man don't want that. So that's why some men seem like they're distant from, because they's like, at this point, you just want me to be satisfied with you giving me sometime. Like, like, no, I'm more than that. Like, you got to be what? A
Well,
loving wife. You got to do your part too. This is not, that was in Christianity when it was all about make sure the wife is good, because if the wife ain't good, the house ain't good. No, it should be make sure that Yah is pleased with both of y'all behinds. How about that?
well, uh,
Make sure Yah is pleased with both. Make sure you as a woman do what the Most High told you to do, and make sure you as a man is doing what the Most High told you to do, and make sure you as a man is allowing the woman to be the woman, and that woman, you are allowing the man to be the man according to what is pleasing and acceptable Most High. Get all of these theories and other issues out of your head and work together, build up the family, and then you can say you kingdom minded. But a lot of people just lustful minded. You're worldly minded. All that is in the world is the lust of the eyes, pride of life, and the lust of the flesh. You can't even hold your man down when he ain't got the other man at work. God, you seen the other man with a nice car. He being nice to you. You think about the house you could have. You one of them dreaming women. Oh, I wonder what life would have been like if I would have been with him. I wonder what life would have been like if I was with her. All because you having a little problem with your wife at home. Man, love each other. Time is short. People dying every day. People dying every day. Your wife could go out there and not return. Your husband go out there and not return. Then you crying, but you was the same one that didn't give a dang about that man when he was in the house trying to be a man. When that woman was trying to be the best woman she could, listening to you, you went out there and slept with that other woman, and then next thing you know, now your wife gone tragically. Now you crying, acting like you loved her. You didn't even love her, bro.
well,
Or you didn't even love that man. Now you the one crying over the casket. You didn't even love him. You could care less for him. You didn't want him to be a man of his house. You didn't hear him when he was trying to raise you in the way you were to go. Now he dead. Now you crying over the casket like you really love this man. Now you got a whole tissue in your hand, putting on a whole show because we have been disconnected on a spiritual level. Two cannot walk together unless they're in agreement. Yes, we're going to have things we disagree, but we're supposed to be strong enough to work these things out for the better of our families. Get out of that worldly mindset. All that is in the world is the lust of the eyes, the pride of the life, and the lust of the flesh. And sometimes in this case that we're talking about, the lust of the eyes, in this case, I would say, is you seeing another man and another woman happy. And you trying to base your relationship off of their happiness. And you trying to base your relationship off of her happiness and what she said about her man and girl talk situation and her experience. Everybody's experience is not the same. Trust Yah. Do your part.
well,
Hold it down. And for the men or the women that's out there making excuses to commit adultery, you have no excuse. Because if you love Yahuwah, you're going to stay clean for him. So
well,
you laying down with another man because of what you said your man did, or laying down with another woman because what you said your woman did, it's not an excuse. You filthy. You have a filthy mindset. You don't care about your life like you supposed to. You don't care about the law and the commandments of the Most High like you supposed to. Because if I love the Most High, even if my wife ain't doing right, I'ma stand firm. If you love the Most High, even if your husband ain't doing right, you gonna stand firm and please the Most High. But and then I hate the excuses that I be seeing like online or just in life period. Well, you wasn't at home enough for me, or you didn't give me attention, so I laid down with Craig. So you just laid down with a whole man. You gave him all that energy and heart and love. You don't care. It's not about love to you. It's about a fix. That's
well,
what it's about to these fleshly children. It's about fix. It's not about love. We need to love each other. That's the law. Love one another. That is very important, and it starts in the house. This is what your children need to see. This is why husbands and wives are not together. Marriages is not lasting because nobody wants to go about it the way thus says the Most High. You take your place when the way the Most High told you to take your place, woman, and man, you take it away to your place in the way the Most High told you to, and y'all both be in agreement to the Most High's will. And if you're not in agreement to that, this is why a lot of y'all have problems. And women, it's a lot going on with bad demonstration of women out there. It's a lot of women being used by the devil to take and have y'all women in such a bad mindset, and man too. But right now we know the devil's tool from the beginning was a woman, and his tool at these last days is to use the wickedness of a woman. Not that man ain't following, man following just like Adam did. But nevertheless, who you think he using as the poster? The woman, you see it. Look at the world. Look at everywhere you turn. You see a half-naked woman twerking. You see a half-naked woman in clothes, booty shorts, booty, this, butt, tail, this, that, music, this, show, that, this, everywhere. Get your behinds together. Be a virtuous woman and love being a virtuous woman. And when you a man, you got a virtuous woman, stop looking at Jezebel. Love your woman for being virtuous. Better yet, put more into her when she be. That's the woman that needs the flowers every day, not the back talking. You can't hear nothing. I can't even be a man. You want me to be a sissy. I can't even tell you nothing. You got a problem. Then when I tell you something you don't want to hear, you want to take away these pleasures that we supposed to be having together. So you manipulate me with your emotions. We don't want that, women. We don't want that. Neither do a woman want that, right? So just like, a woman don't want a man like, well, I ain't taking you out here. I ain't going on this date because he don't like something you said. Y'all, we got to fight. We got to fight for our family. We got to fight for our marriages. If you don't know that family's supposed to start with marriage first, then you don't understand what I'm saying when I'm saying we got to fight for our, how does this tie into family? Because if y'all minds like this, you building a family on that messed up foundation, that's a mess of foundation. Now your kids going through turmoil because y'all minds is set like it is. Now your kids growing in that nest instead of being nurtured, instead of seeing love, compassion, unity, sanctity of marriage. They see arguing, fighting, division. Mama unhappy, daddy unhappy, daddy barely home. Mama seem like she not even in tune with daddy. This is what they grow. This is what they get nurtured off of, all because you don't want to be mature enough to do what thus says the Most High. So get rid of your stinking attitudes, get rid of your effeminate attitude as a man, and get rid of your overly emotional attitude as a woman. Come together, keep them commandments, take back your power, care about your family, nurture your kids up, showing them how to be women and man. Man, show your sons how to be a man. Man, be a father to your daughters and your son. The father is not just important to the son. The father is important to the young woman too. Just like the mother is not just important to the daughter, the mother is important to the son and the daughter. Y'all better get it right. Get out of that man theology. And a lot of this fornication mindset got us so stuck right there. We can't even see all of this stuff that I'm talking about right now because your mind's stuck on the lust of the eye, pride of life, and the lust of the flesh. And you taking your brother or your sister for lust. It's not for, it's for even the lust of money, or the lust of what he got in his pants or what she got in hers. Let's just be real. It's overly sexualized out here. And it's destroying the household. It's destroying marriages. We're supposed to be upholding marriages up in this place, up in this world, this God-forsaken world, this wicked, overly sexualized, lascivious world. We're supposed to be showing our sons and daughters how to keep themselves and how to love marriage. Instead, when they see a terrible marriage at home with mama and daddy, they think it's better to fornicate because they seen what y'all did. They like, I don't want that. They already traumatized because of you as the mother and father, because you was thinking about yourself. You wasn't thinking about them babies that the Most High told you to raise up in the way that they should go. You thinking about your own lust, your own fix, your own, I don't like this, and I dreamed that I had this, but I don't have, but I thought I was going to have. Get mature and put away the childish thing and serve ye the Most High and seek ye the kingdom and let everything else be added on to you. I'm Brother Yaru, and this is Righteous Talk Podcast. This is a righteous conversation, man. Can you handle the truth? Can you? All praise to the Most High. We're going to blow that trumpet just one more time for him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those in the blue tees, this is Righteous Talk. Man, blow the trumpet. I said blow the trumpet. I said blow it. Yes, sir. Hallelujah. See, I ain't just your average, this ain't the average podcast because we some ministers over here. I'm a minister, so you're going to hear me preach too. I'm saying we got to get it together. And I'm saying this through passions of things I've had to work through, things we still have to work through, and things we see in the world with our other brothers and sisters. I'm saying this out of all things. It ain't just got something that's got necessarily to do with me or my family or my relation. It's just I see it as a seer, as a watcher. I'm seeing and I'm watching and I'm seeing these different things. I'm seeing the narratives being spent on TV shows and love and all that. That stuff ain't love, man. They make fornication look so good. They put the music behind it. Oh, they're in love. Oh, she don't like her husband. She in love with him. And they put that music behind it like, my husband wasn't there for me when I needed him, so it's okay for me to lay down with you. And then, dun, 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 dun. They in the bedroom having a scene, and then they make you think that's the way to live. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's craft. And they're
No,
trying to bewitch your mindset. Love one another, man. Love your wife. Love your husband. Because when they gone, you're going to be first one crying, weeping. And ain't that a shame that you crying and weeping, but you didn't care about them when they was alive? You didn't give them no flowers when they was alive, but now they dead. You want to sit there and weep. That's stupid. That's what we got to stop doing. Let's love each other, man. Let's fight to love each other. Let's fight to get over our attitudes. Let's fight to get over our disagreements. Let's fight to keep a balance. Let's fight to keep the love and the sanctity of marriage because it's dead in this world. And we're supposed to be the example of this in this world. So if you ain't married, I hope that this edified you. I hope this helped you understand some things before you go into marriage in the wrong way. Get rid of it now. Let it go now so when you come in, you don't have problems that some of us had to deal with coming into us with
no.
the lack of understanding. Okay? We telling y'all this for a reason. We know we don't been through some things. We don't experience some things. We still growing through things. So listen, don't take this for granted. This ain't just a podcast for show. This is for edification. This is for motivation and inspiration. Hallelujah. All praise be to the Most High. Back to you, Ak. Anything you want to say?
Yes, man. And you cooking out, man. There's a lot you said right there for sure, man. It's a lot to, for us to fix and to consider, and um I would add this in here for, the younger generations, you don't want to go into a relationship based on fornication and lust because you can get trapped by that too. You can go in there, you can have a baby for the wrong person, and you could be trapped there. And now all of a sudden, now you are a father with a woman that you necessarily don't want to be with, but she was right in your eyes because you love the way that she looked, or if you're a woman because he could put it down in that type of way. But now you're a mother, but that's not the man that you really want to be with because you were just going off of based upon sex and fornication, and now you didn't find out if you're a man, you didn't find out that he has all of these issues going on, or you're a woman, you find out he has all these issues going on, and you be trapped in these situations, and it a lot of times it takes years for people to come up out of that. And now you're taking on all of these responsibilities that you wasn't necessarily all because that you wanted that big button smile, or all because you wanted a jump off because he was exactly how you like him. We have to be careful with that with our life choices and just taking upon us who have made a lot of mistakes. And the Most High is helping us even as we climbing the spiritual ladder, like my brother like to say, and then also maturing also in the physical way too. That we went into different relationships and did a lot of things, based upon because of beauty or based upon that this person looked good. You know, us men is talking to the men right now. Stop thinking with that little head. Let's be real. Stop thinking like that. Know what you're getting yourself into, and what I mean by that is don't just go off of beauty. Because the scripture does say beauty is vain. You're looking at outside of appearance. What is on the inside? Stop getting caught up with all of it. And then you also got to look at stop choosing the women of your lust. You, you you like these type of women, but then when you put babies in them and you try to marry them, oh, now you want them to be virtuous. But when you was getting sex and doing all these other different things and freaking and having a good time, it was to your liking. But then now, because you put a baby in them, now you expect them to change. But if she was a whore when you met her, come on now, let's just be real. Vice versa. If he was a thug or no good, didn't do nothing, and he loved to go upside your head and all of this type of stuff like that, nonsense and all that, you fell in love with that. You like that type of stuff. And it goes back what you said, brother. It's because of family. These are the things that a lot of us seen in our families. It don't matter if it didn't necessarily have to be your parents. It could have been just, aunties, this and this. You done seen all this type of dysfunction and these type of behaviors, and then a lot of times we gravitate towards that and it's learned behaviors, and we go and we taking a liking to these type of women or these type of men. So we have to be wise and understand that look what we choosing, and then stop blaming that person for the choice that you chose. You knew that you was not supposed to go wife that woman up who was in the strip club. Oh, but you had that appetite. You liked that. But now that you put a baby in, and now you want her to change. Or you knew that man was dope dealing, was this and this. That. Now the Most High has changed him. All praises. But we talking about just before you even get into this relationship, you going to these places and you trying to hit these type of people because of the lust that you like. You infatuated with this type of behavior. So you have to deal with yourself and say, okay, hold on. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I can't blame all five of these women based upon this is what Chris wanted. This is what Chris liked. This is my appetite. I love them type of big booties and I love that type of woman. I can't go and say, oh, well, that woman was bad, that woman was bad, that woman was bad. Hold on, man. What's the common denominator? Me. I got to look at myself and say, hold on, man. It's not just all their fault. This is the women that I was choosing. Same with a woman. All them men ain't good. She got two or three babies by two or three of these men. They wasn't that bad. Couldn't have been. You slept with them. So you got to look at yourself and say, whoa, hold on. It's my choices. I'm choosing these type of men. So you have to look at it from that perspective, and you have to look into yourself and say, why am I choosing these type of people? So we can't just point fingers. We all have choices. Let's make more mature choices and let the Most High lead and guide you to the woman or the man that he wants you to be with, and get to know them. Courtship, proper courtship. Get to know them. Take that man or that woman in front of the Most High. Yeah, is this the man or this the woman that I need to even be with from the get go? And stop just going off of what you see, because looks is deceiving. Outside might look good, inside jacked up. You got to look at it. That's you up.
Con. And with that said, I also want to say it's like it's not always a trap neither, because that's why we have so many baby mamas and baby daddies, because ain't nobody feeling trapped, because everybody feel like, oh, I could just jump to another, which is leading to kids without fathers and mothers in broken households. Just a generation of kids growing up in brokenness and broken, you know what I'm saying? So, I would have to say that's what I would say about that. I would say it's not necessarily a trap. It's just a bad decision that you can probably feel trapping, but we know that it's a lot of baby mamas out here, there's a lot of baby daddies, so ain't nobody feeling like they have to stay. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like you are in this truth and you're going by the commandments and the laws of Yahuwah, and you're in a relationship where you have to work things out. Yeah, you can't just go off because you don't like what's going on. No, and that's right. You should be working things out, because family is very important to y'all. Because some of us we got married before we came in the truth. Does that give us a right to just now? Oh, I got married before I came to truth. So let me talk about how I wish I would have did this. I wish I did. Everybody has a lot of what they wish they could have did, even beyond marriage. Now that you in this truth together, are y'all willing to work together to do what the thus said Yahuwah? Because if y'all both do what thus says Yahuwah, everything else gonna be added on to you. But if y'all not willing to do that, then you ain't gonna see no healing. You gonna still talk about the past of when y'all first got together and it wasn't right. But neither was you. You might not have been as bad as her or him, but you wasn't living of the Most High. He wasn't living of the Most High. He came from a rougher background. She came from a lesser background or a rougher background. Vice versa. Now that y'all married, are y'all willing to work together? Or are y'all just taking each other for lust, thinking that you're going to be able to break generational curses? No, these generational curses also coming from us just taking each other for lust, thinking that's going to work out, having babies built off of love, built off a whole family by lust, by just fornication. And then you wonder why the family broke. That's why a lot of kids out here broken right now. I wish my daddy was with me. Well, mama was focused on the bag, and she was just having a one night stand, or daddy was focusing on sometimes the woman got the bag and the daddy was focused on the bag, or daddy was focusing on pleasure and he laid down with a woman he didn't really care for, and when it was time to take care of business and be a man, he didn't want to have nothing to do with her or the baby, because she ratchet, he ratchet, but he don't want to deal with her ratchet. He just wanted to lay with it and play with it, not deal with it. That's all this. And so now kids are growing up in this. If we are the people the chosen people. Now we got to shine light on this stuff. Whatsoever is real to us in the dark, we got to bring it out into the light. So now this is something we bring out to light. Stop building your kids up in this. Stop. If you even if you came into this to the truth already married, that don't give you no excuse. Is that man ready to do what the Most High tell him to do? Okay, forgive, so you could be forgiven. Is that woman to do is she ready to do what the Most High told her to do? Okay, forgive, so you could be forgiven. Now y'all work together to keep y'all family. Everybody just want, okay, well I'm in the truth now, so can I just destroy my family? Huh? No, that's not how it go. You still under a covenant. Now clean the covenant up now. Clean the covenant up and make sure Yahuwah's name stamped on that thing. That's all. Y'all both didn't know. How you gonna blame the man what he didn't know when you didn't even know how to be a virtuous woman? You want to talk about him and what he didn't have and what he was like, but you didn't have the things of Yah. You might be looking at him like, well, he was worse than me. He might have had it worse than you in life. He might have had more problems than you. But now that y'all in the truth, he growing, you growing. What's the problem? Oh, you got a problem forgiving, but you want to be forgiven. That's so we ain't sugarcoating none of that. If you come into this truth and maybe y'all like, oh, I wish I would have did this before the truth. Understood. There's a lot of things we gonna wish we would have did before the truth, even before marriage. There's probably things we wish we would have did when we was in school. We wish we would have did when we was children to our mothers and fathers. That's always there. That don't give you an excuse to say, oh, well, poor me. I deserve to just go out and now divorce my wife and just add another wife. But we married though. But because we was married and we wasn't in truth, I could just divorce her. No, that's not how that works. Now you know the truth. Now you apply the truth to your life and your marriage. Now y'all work together, keep your family, hold this family together. You found the truth together, live it together, grow in it together, prosper together, be sanctified together, and overcome the world together and confound your enemy together. All praise be to the Most High.
All praise be to the Most High.
Who can understand what I'm saying? Give me a 7 if y'all understood that. It's a lot. There's a lot in this podcast. All praises. I hope you inspired. I hope it motivated you. I hope it reminded you guys of something. I hope it gave some people some good edification. If you ain't married, how you got to go into a marriage and what you need to make sure that you got rid of spiritually. Do that spiritual work you need to do on yourself if you're not married. So, even the ones that made a win to marriage wrong or had bad marriages at first and now ain't married, trying to get back married or whatever. Take these testimonies so that you don't have to, go through that. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to listen to testimonies and listen to some truth, you might end up just going through worse situations, because you just don't want to listen. So nevertheless, give me a 7 if y'all with me, if y'all understand me. I see 2 people. I see 3 people that got it. 3 people with me. Is there anybody else? Anybody else in agreement? Anybody else understand? Let me know. All praises, all praises, all praises. Good conversation. This was a mature conversation. So you did hear a lot about laying in the bed. You did hear a lot about that, right? Because that's why the title said mature conversation. If that was too much for you, then you didn't have to watch. You know what I'm saying? But great podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're trying to make it better. I'm trying to, make sure I'm really speaking on things that's relevant in this podcast, on these podcasts. So even though it's a podcast, it's still a different form of like ministry for me because I'm coming from. That's why we call it Righteous Talk Podcast. And we try to keep it righteous, and we try to also be able to share our experiences, our life experiences, things we learn from the Most High. We're not just going scripture, but we also make sure we're applying the scriptures in conversation too, but also our experiences and also the wisdom that we have gained through these experiences. All praises. But hey, brother, it was a blessing to have you on it. This is Brother Chris from Can We Talk or Not Talk podcast as well. He
And
has a
it's an
podcast
honor.
called Can We Talk or Not Talk? Sometime I'm on there as well. When y'all see us, y'all check us out because y'all know we be talking that good talk. When I get with this brother, I can say I am able to really flow. Because you like this brother like my sounding board, also a helper in this ministry as well. And in leading Wahaba ministry, he's a helper of this ministry. He's also the reader that be reading on Saturdays and his other background support he's been given. So I appreciate you, brother. It was an honor to have you on here. Is there anything else you want to say to the people? Anything else you want to say before closing this thing all the way out? Anything anybody else want to say in the chat too? Go ahead and say it before we close out. Now it's your time. Come.
Yeah, so I just want to say, all praise to the Most High, man. It's always an honor to come on and man, I just thank you for that. It's an honor to be a part of the your ministry, and just doing my part, just shining light, and just playing my position. I will say this, a lot of people just understand this also too, that when the Most High brings people in your life, we have to understand that, yeah, you can still do what the Most High is calling you to do over here, but you also can be called to be helping somebody else and to push what the Most High has for them. So don't neglect it. Remember that your role is important, but it's not always necessarily that you're going to be the face of everything. We have to also learn order, and also learn that Most High put certain people in position, and you might one of your gifts might be is to be in somebody else's ministry and to help them. So
Uh,
don't be uh always just thinking that you're going to be on the forefront of everything. We have to also learn how to come together and to be able to do what the Most High is calling us to do, even if it's not just on your own. Hallelujah.
Con. And to the sisters, I want to say, only reason why sometimes I be going hard on the sisters too, because I know the devil trying to get my sisters. We see what's going on out here. You see how he trying to use our beautiful queens out here. And so I just, I'm going hard because I want y'all to get the memo. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to get in. I want y'all to keep yourselves and be virtuous. Save yourselves. Save yourselves from what the devil trying to do to y'all. If y'all was created for a great help for a man, then y'all have skill. And that skill set the devil's trying to use for the ushering in of his will and his wants. And not that a man ain't being used, but a woman has a skill that even a man needed to have and not be alone from that skill of a woman, that help of a woman. So just be wise and know the devil is trying to use you guys to build up his kingdom. And us here and there, as he wants to, we follow along, but he doing what he do. Just think about Adam and Eve, think about that situation, and just think about how the devil moves, what he like. It's like if somebody like a man, somebody like a man, but if he like a woman, he like a woman. If he likes using a woman, he likes using a woman. If he prefer to go to the woman first, that's what he does. Because through a woman, he was able to get the man. So what do you think what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not getting a win. He's not getting a man, but he is using a lot of women to get man as well. And a lot of man that has been beguiled, that's going into returning the favor after being beguiled, or now beguiling other women as well. So it's vice versa, but at the same time, the devil has a favorite tool, you know, So let's be not ignorant of the devices of Satan. Our woman's beauty is powerful, and it can be used for vanity. And so, guard your beauty. Be beautiful, but don't be vain. Be beautiful, but don't be um, wicked. Don't be a sellout. Be beautiful. Be virtuous. Be mothers, not whores. Be ladies, not little out of control girls. We need y'all, but we also need y'all to listen to the Most High. Like Hezekiah, we want the wives, the brothers. I'm speaking for other brothers that ain't getting married, but I like this quote. They ain't got married yet, but and it is married. We want wives that love the Most High more than they love us. Why? Because if they love the Most High more than they love us, they're gonna love us just right. We want that woman after Yahuwah because that woman gonna be virtuous, not just by clothes. Virtue don't just come because you dress modest. Modesty and virtue is a heart posture. It's a heart condition. It's a personality. It's not just a clothing type of clothing. You understand what I'm saying? So I go hard, but I'm not going hard to be rude. I do see a lot of things, and I do have a lot of background with a lot of bad experiences with women. But on the other hand, I'm just trying to bring my experiences to help save and inspire people out of them bad mindsets. Inspire my sisters to rise up and be the mothers. We need y'all to be the mothers. Y'all are powerful when y'all in position, but y'all also powerful when you out of position. You are powerful to be used as destructible weapons, just like we're powerful as being used as helpful weapons to build. A woman can build up a house or she can bring it down. She got that type of power. And the devil know that. So if you let the devil get you, what you think he gonna do with you? He'll help you bring down what the most high trying to build up in somebody, or help you help. He gonna use you to help him to keep people from building up in the Most High. Vice versa, man too. But we know the devil has a favorite tool on how he get everybody. I'm gonna get the woman first, and then we're gonna go get the man, then we're gonna get the household. He got Adam. I mean, he went to Eve, he got Adam through Eve. Then after that process happened, then he went to the children, Cain and Abel. See how that worked? So be not deceived at his devices, y'all. And brothers, get it together. Be man. Stop feeding the beast. Stop talking about you want a woman, you want a wife, you want a lovely woman when you still busy intrigued with Jezebel. Get her out of here. Get her out of your mind. Get her out of your heart. Give your woman all when she doing what she got to do in a world that's promoting what they're promoting to her about her, trying to get her to sell out and get a bag and all that she can do with her body in this day and age. Man, love her, cherish her for doing the right thing. When they doing the right thing, man, give them all that you can, as far as love, compassion, spiritual connection in the Most High. Give them all that you can, man, because they deserve it. When they holding it down like that, we need soldiers on praises. My brothers stand up, my sisters stand up. I hope that made sense. If that made sense, sisters, give me a 7 or a con. If that made sense, sisters. Just want to make sure we got that balance in there. Because I know I be going hard, but I be going hard for a reason, though. You feel me? But I love my people. I love all my people. But we got to get right. Right? We got to do right. Can't just be doing what we want to do. All praise to the Most High for that. I got to come from my sis. All praise to the Most High. I'm glad y'all understand me. I'm glad y'all understand. All praise, all praise, all praise. But I am looking also for some sisters to come up on the next panel. So if you somebody that feel like you got a nice voice or testimony on this behalf, reach out to me because we will have another part 2 to this. I don't know if it's going to be the next podcast, but whenever I get it situated and see who's going to be in it now, I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick. So if a lot of people come, I'm going to have to pick from there. But I would like to add 2 women and two brothers, right? So if it's not brother Chris again, it'll be another brother, or it'll be him again, or and 2 sisters. So because I would like for a woman to righteously be able to express themselves as well. You know, like a woman being able to say things to other women. Maybe it's a woman that has a testimony of what she did wrong that she can express, she learned for other women, or what she learned about what's about a woman that a woman want to express, that she feel like man should, take notice to. Vice versa. That makes sense. So if you are interested in maybe being on a panel on a podcast and you actually have some, something to say, right? Don't embarrass yourself. Don't play with the podcast. But if you have some wisdom in you, you have a testimony, hey, reach out to me via Facebook Messenger, or you can just say I'm interested on the comments. But leave it on the comment that's not the live comment. You can comment after and say I'm interested after the podcast elite shuts down, ends, and I'll try to contact you, get in contact with you if I haven't already picked somebody else. Nevertheless, with that said, don't be butthurt if you don't get picked. There's only 2. And I got some people in mind already that I want to ask. So if you're serious, reach out to me and maybe we can get you on the next podcast of part 2 to this conversation. Maybe stem it off into a little bit of another conversation, but just continuing to build up marriage and to build up ourselves and to talk about our testimonies of, being in fornication, what we had to let go of. And it'd be nice to have a woman to express herself in that way, as well as we brothers out here expressing ourselves. And I'm trying to use wisdom to do so and righteous talk, right? With that said, until next time, brothers and sisters, this is Righteous Talk Podcast, and this is Brother Yaru. I am your host, and that is my op right there, Brother Chris. Well, can we talk and not talk? You know what it is. All praises be to the Most High. Let's continue to go forth. Let's continue to praise the Most High. Let's continue to be thankful. Let's continue to pray, praise, and proceed. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hopefully not going to want to thank you for tuning in to Righteous Talk Podcast. Thank you for liking and sharing. And please, if you have forgotten, go subscribe so you can continue to see when we come with more. All praise to the Most High, all the saints to the Most High. If it wasn't until next time, brothers and sisters, this is Leader Wahaba Ministry, the Righteous Talk. Pop.